All right, we are back with another ep on the Daily Vedantic. Today's reflection is on a topic so many people, especially in tech, my world for 15 years. So many people talk about this all the time, and they don't even know the definition of the word that they're talking about. They would not know how to define it. And yet they will buy book after book, read blog post after blog post, listen to different podcasts on it, without ever even the curiosity to understand what it is at its root. That is the word stress. My friends and I are always looking at the latest in neuroscience studies on what it can tell us about stress, and yet the ancient philosophy of Vedanta tell us exactly what stress is, how to relieve it, and how to live without it. So what is stress? Stress is defined as mental agitation from unfulfilled desire. That very definition gives such a helpful diagnosis to what's happening within us when we're feeling stressed. Mental agitation from unfulfilled desire. At the root of stress is desire. Some strong desire to make it to that meeting on time. It's stressing you out because, who knows, the coworker is running late. It could be the fact that your business is seeing losses when you thought it was going to be all profits. You wanted only for it to succeed because it's going to provide you some validation, some financial freedom, some ability to get, buy something that you also feel like is going to set you free. But it's falling, it's crumbling in your hands. And I know that feeling so well. Oh, so well. I remember going to the ER with a heart condition. My heart was beating at 175 beats a minute for about 3 weeks straight. And after my doctor saw that on his equipment, he basically said, all right, we're going to the ER right now across the street. That stress manifests itself in all kinds of crazy ways in our lives. It might be a prolonged elevated heart rate. It might be disastrous relationships. It might be a strained business, a strained career. But at the heart of it, there's an unfulfilled desire. Swamiji will say often, having a disease is bad enough, but not knowing you have it can be fatal. And just knowing what's sitting underneath these symptoms that we feel that we call stress, what is sitting underneath it that is the root cause, and that is unfulfilled desire. So how do we relieve stress? Well, you can either fulfill that desire, you can make it to that meeting on time until the next desire pops up and you need to fulfill that, or you can get there by decreasing the quantity of desires that we have. Instead of allowing them to multiply like a 10-headed hydra, chop off one head and two more spring up, we can start to whittle them down, recognizing, you know what, some of these aren't necessary. In fact, even if I fulfill them, it's just going to give us more and more desires on the other side. And by decreasing them, you have no mental agitation if there is no desire that is unfulfilled that needs to be fulfilled. You also can increase the quality of our desires. Is it that extra drink, or is it great sleep that you desire? Is it that pat on the back from your boss, or is it the satisfaction of knowing I really put myself into that work and that was great work? In the next episode, I want to talk about a phrase that Swamiji says often that talks about nothing feels as good as doing what we ought to do. But it's relevant here because when we do what we ought to do, that might be a higher quality desire, just that feeling. It might completely be that selfish feeling of how good it's going to feel to knock out that work task in the right way, to do it the hard, right way. Could be completely for that self-satisfaction that you get on the other side, but that's a higher quality desire than I'm going to do this for that compliment or that pat on the back from my boss so that I can, potentially get that bonus I'm looking for. So it's decrease the quantity, raise the quality, and then also orient those desires towards the higher, change the direction. That's how, with the 3 of those, and you really could start on any one of these. You could spend a lifetime on just one of these, decreasing the quantity, increasing the quality, changing the direction. Any one of those 3 can get you to living a stress-free life. I can't tell you the last stressful day I've had. Since picking up this philosophy, since reflecting on it daily, since going through the 3-year course, which is so beautifully and conveniently online, literally through the app, which the link is in the description. The whole point of this podcast is for people to graduate beyond these daily reflections and go to the real source of this wisdom itself from Swami Parthasarathi, again, in the link, my teacher. And you can do that from the comfort of your couch with the device in your pocket. It's ridiculous how convenient it is today. And after doing the 3-year course a couple times, I'm in continual awe of how simple and stress-free my days are. Even with 3 little kids, with 3 companies, with 200 investments, it truly blows my mind to where my first impulse is speechlessness of how well this just orients my life. And then the second impulse is to tell others about it, like this, like here through the Daily Vedantic. It's like the Epicurean going and finding something great and feeling like, man, the whole community needs to know about this. There's no encouragement within Vedanta that everybody needs to be following this philosophical path. It's actually said pretty explicitly in many places that 1 in 10,000 will find this stuff interesting. So there's no element in kind of like a Western religious Christian sense of like, I need to go out and convert people. There's none of that. It's just like discovering how great a workout routine is and finding the people that care about working out, letting them know about it, not inventing it, not thinking, hey, I'm going to have my name stamped on it, but just like taking the sip of something and being like, this is so good. I can't not tell people about it. And it's so relevant, especially today's reflection in our practical lives for nearly everyone around us. So that is what Vedanta says about stress. And it's so beautiful in how it even defines it. The first time I ever heard it defined was through this philosophy that's 6, 7, 8,000 years old. We have no idea how far back the oral tradition goes back. Mental agitation caused by unfulfilled desire. Your job that's stressing you out, it's not your spouse, your partner, your best friend, the neighbor. It's your relationship with those things. It's your multiplying desires with those things that are going unfulfilled currently, that are causing your stress. And the good news is you're in control of eliminating that. That's today's reflection on the Daily Vedantic. Smash that subscribe button. Write a comment, make a friend in the comments. Send us DMs if you got any questions that you want us to answer in future episodes. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening to the Daily Vedantic. This reflection is part of a free repeating 2-year course in Advaita Vedanta. Rooted in the timeless wisdom of the Upanishads, arguably the oldest philosophical texts on earth, you can begin with episode 1, which gives the 15-minute overview of the whole philosophy of Vedanta, or you can join the journey with any episode at any point. But the critical aspect of this course, of understanding and mastering anything, is to study and reflect, even for 10 to 15 minutes, on the timeless each day, preferably at the start of your day. As is said in this philosophy, reflection is 100,000 times as powerful as listening. So listen, journal, sit with, discuss these concepts, or ask questions at thedailyvedantic.com with our AI-powered chatbot informed by about 700 episodes here, as regularly as one can if you want to see clarity and peace almost effortlessly unfold in your daily life. And if it doesn't result in a near immediate increase in clarity and peace, then toss aside and feel free to never listen again. One of the things that you might notice is after 7 or 8 days in a row, this doesn't feel like a discipline. This feels like a visit with a best friend to dive into the timeless with daily reflection. Within a few days, it becomes one of your favorite parts of the day. You can also find out more, including news about in-person events in Los Angeles and beyond, at the Daily Vedantic on Instagram or through our weekly newsletter at thedailyvedantic.com. Additionally, check out the links in our show notes for more resources like the books that are mentioned most frequently in the episodes, including Vedanta Treatise, perhaps the simplest and most straightforward read on this philosophy I've ever come across. Until next time, and from the entire team that works on the Daily Vedantic project, thanks for listening.